Okay, before we start, we have a disclosure. It's very important. All traders know that there is a risk in the trading, and you have to be very careful how you approach the future trading. What we have here is we are sharing our signals with everyone out there at no cost, and I will explain how to read the charts. We will be using our automated system, the price action automated system, and then during this time, I will be sharing the other autoplays we have. But for the whole idea here is because of this hard time right now in the market, we are sharing our entry signals and we are sharing our targets and everything with everybody. Please be aware that Best Pro Trade is not responsible for any of your trade. There is no promotion, no sales talk. It's only strictly trying to help every trader out there. We're trying to share our system with the rest of the world. And for you to, if you need help with your trading, you can have it as a second opinion and copy anything you like. So please do not hold it against us. And we are doing this just to help any trader out there. What you have is two market analyzers on the top. If you notice here right now on the Forex, we have hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different charts. We hit the target. It's a very simple, straightforward. What you need to do, you need to keep your eye on the new signal from the first column. Is right here on the right upper corner of the screen. It says a new signal. You will have a new signals coming out and is about to have also new signal on the YM and all the market. Then what you need to do, you can copy the direction of that market, if it's a buy, long, or short sell. Then on this yellow text, the yellow text is your entry for all those given market. ES, YM, CL, DAX, 30, Treasury Bond, Russell, and 6E. And excuse me. And then at the same time, we give you the entry price, the direction. Then in the kind color, it says the target. It tells you your target. And now you can see it's about time. We will have new signals coming out on the ES, YM, and NASDAQ and ES. And as you see right now, as an example, if you look at the 6E, we have an entry today at 234.25. The target was 227.95. Target hit. The same thing for the Russell. We had the buy signal at 1561.4, and then the target was 1564.2. Target hit. On the DAX, we have an entry at 487.5. The target was 517.5. Target hit, nailed 60 ticks on that trade. And the trading, there is a risk, and we're not responsible for your own trading. And this is not a trading room. It is something for the traders to share. We are sharing our signal with, and it is up to you. You want to copy those signals or not. This is totally up to the clients out there or to any traders out there. For the charts we are looking at, we are also sharing our fib lines, which those for our traders, they are using it. They are $35 a month. But those fib lines, very soon you have to respect it. Once you find out how well they work, you'll find that they are very respected lines. So as an example, if you are taking a buy order, and you see here there is a resistance line, probably you need to consider, I don't know if you are trading long or short, but if you are trading, you very soon you will find out in those charts there is a very accurate system and there is a very accurate lines, and they are very important for you to understand the fibs. You don't need to understand those fibs, but those lines, very soon you'll find out you need to respect those numbers and the lines. So on the chart, you will find your entry, your buy signals, and then what we have done also, despite the market analyzer, the entry, buy, sell, And also on the Forex, the entry, buy, and sell. What we are sharing also with you, our fib lines. And the fib lines, you can see you yourself, without me saying anything, you can see the fib lines, how well they are respected and how well they are most of the time the market project from those lines. Uh, and then at the same time, we have put our number and your the Skype on those here. If you are missing any instruments and you need help with any of those instruments, we are more than glad. If we have the data for that instrument, we'll be more than glad to add anything for any trader would like um, uh, to um, to have a second opinion. We'll be more than glad to add those items for him. If we have the data, we have no problem. On the uh, For me as a personal, I like the euro dollar. But if you have some other charts you like to see, we'll be more than glad also to share it or try to add the charts for the Forex traders. And it is a very, very accurate system on the Forex trading. And you will find out that, as an example, on the euro dollar today, we had a sell entry at 26.6, and then we hit the target today all the way down to the 236. If we look at the euro dollar, let me see. On the euro dollar, we have now this one here based on the $10,000 on the euro on the forex, and you can see your PNL. We are using 10K for the forex. We're not using 100,000 K. We are using 10K as a mini account, and you can see how many pips and how many did the target, which made 62 pips. This is not bad at all. So new signals is about to come out now. It starts zeroing out, and there is a new signals coming out. Then you can copy those signals, or you can take them and see if something you like or not. For the other auto trades, we will be also sharing some of the auto trades with you, signals. To be honest with you, I was in the webinar, so I was not prepared to get everything out. But let me see if I can share something. For our members, I want to say we just had a webinar for the new version, the MetaTrader, and this is the new system. We've been working on it for many, many months. The reason we have done this because we have some traders, they have a lack of internet and they don't have supercomputers. So we thought we can come out with something for the MT5 for our members. And for any members, probably by tomorrow, the latest, you will have a new, we're going to be release this version. We are just doing the latest touch on this version here before we release it. But it is a very friendly use, very easy to figure it out. It takes you probably an hour to figure out MetaTrader. And this one here is okay, there we go. We hit the target on the ES. And this one here, if we notice what we have done, because we are testing it, we are um, we are taking small targets at the time, and then right now I just talked to the developer. He's gonna put a button. Then what you do, you click on the button, and then a reset, and then it goes again and again and again. So for as an example on the ES right now, we are making a small targets because we are testing it, and then once the market hits the target, we are reloading this the MetaTrader, and it is a very, very effective, very light platform, and I like it. I like it. It looks very nice and very light, and I like that. It's not heavy, and it's not sucking a lot of memory from your computer, or also can give you freedom if you want to keep monitoring your trades on an iPad or mobile phone. we find it is very good. If you are trading manually with your indicators and all that, I strongly recommend to stay with Ninjatrader, not the MT5. But if you are a mechanical trader, it's become irrelevant whether you are using any platform, because most of the automated trader guys, they have a lack of experience with the market, and that's why they refuse to be auto trade. So that's very fair enough. I mean, but if you are auto trading, it's irrelevant which platform you are using, as long as that auto trade is very consistent. And if it's consistent, that's very good. If it's not, then doesn't matter which platform you are using. So go back to our signals, and very soon, as I said, you will find out those lines, those fib lines. They are very important. And if we see here right now on the ES, we had an entry at 2782, and we hit the target at 2787.75, and it hit the target. And if you will notice on the ES, hit the target one tick below the target, and it was all over. And the ES now, if we notice on the ES, folks, this is between a lot of fibs and a lot of support and resistance. This is the area where you need to keep your hands off the trading on the ES until we are come into this area right now, and then we can consider if we want to go long or short on on the ES. But at the moment, you can see where is the entry. On the ES, the entry was 2782. The target was 2788.75. We came in one tick below that. We hit 2787.50. We missed by one tick. And this one here is a live right front of you. So you can see how the system, it is firing to the tick between those two lines, and is firing to the tick to get your target. This is one of the most accurate system, and whatever system you are using on your chart, that should be helping you a lot to read between those two lines, or to read where is your target, if this ES long or short. As an example, right now, if we are looking in a bigger picture on let's take the Forex. If we are taking the Forex as an example right now, we had a very nice entry. And actually, from last night, we have talked about this resistance level on the euro dollar, and then this market this morning went all the way down right here. So as an example, after we hit the target, and now we have a lot of reversal here, and you can see on the euro dollars right now getting stuck between a resistance and a support, but the target hit and the downtrend is over. The downtrend is over. And this is where 90% of the traders, they do not understand when you need to take a trade and when you do not need to take a trade. As an example, right now, this market getting stuck between those two channels. Until we find a direction, there is no trade. And this is where most of the traders start taking the trades in those area here, hoping that this market is going down or up. And this is where most of the traders, 90%, they making that mistake. It is a very common mistake, and it is not a stranger to all traders. Also, sometimes as an old trader, we can fall with those tricks. But once we see this market how getting stuck in those areas, we recognize there is something we cannot do anything about. We need to sit on the side. So this is something here on this system here that will give you the indication where is this probability. I don't care what happened in the past, but this is where it gives you the probability of this market, where it's going, and where the probability this market is going to hit, and where is probably this market is bouncing back from. So as an example, if we are taking now, there is a lot of buying orders coming on the NASDAQ, and we are using a 1 minute NASDAQ. If we are looking at the NASDAQ, trying to climb to those lines, and you can see how accurate it is. The reason I'm saying it is accurate, not because I want you to like the system for whatever platform you are using, what I'm trying to tell you, you need to respect those lines. Because right now, the first time the NASDAQ tried to break those lines and it fell. So if you are thinking about going long on the NASDAQ and you see those lines, you gotta be thinking twice. Wait till you see if this market about to cross. If we look at the Nasdaq right now, and this is a live, you can see how this Nasdaq is struggling on those areas here. And this is a very unpleasant for the trader when he decided to go long, as an example, on the Nasdaq. This is where most likely he's gonna lose money. And if we notice right now on the Nasdaq, and this is right in front of you, is struggling at these numbers, is struggling on those lines. And then once we break the 704, the second stop on the Nasdaq is 713.25. And if you look here on the top, you can see there is a lot of buying. You see how it's blinking? This is telling you there is a lot of buying coming in, trying to break that level. And you can see how the Nasdaq to the tick is trying to break that 704.50. And if this market, there is not enough power, buyers gonna break this level, the probability of that Nasdaq is going back to retest the 695. And you can see right in front of you guys, this is a life right there, right in front of you. And I'm making that chart bigger, and you can see how those lines are respected. I'm not saying every line will be respected, but most of the time those lines, they look, there is a buying power, it's coming, it's trying to build out of this area. And then your next area, it will be 7013.25. This is where the Nasdaq is going to struggle one more time. The most important in your trading is when you are auto trading or manual trading, you have to be aware where is the destination from that trade, whether it's going to be 10 ticks or 15 ticks or 20 ticks. We just simply cannot use it and shoot blindly and take a trade and not knowing how big is that trade or what is the probability of that trade. This is a disaster where most of the traders make mistake. If I want to invest 15 ticks a stop loss on an auto trade or a manual trade, or on a 20 ticks a stop loss or 25 ticks a stop loss, whatever your stop loss is, if I'm investing 15 ticks a stop loss, I want to know how much I will be getting out of it. And if we notice right now, it's a lot of buying power. We have another system here on the left upper corner is indicating the buyers over the sellers. And we have a two different market analyzer with a signal. This one here on the left upper corner is a total very independent system giving us the momentum of the market. Again, it is very important to see the buyers and the sellers. And this one here is a very independent system by itself. It's given us the true momentum of this market. And that it is telling us if those buyers over the sellers and the sellers over the buyers, and then the system here calculating those all those ATRs, MACDs, the volatility indicators, all those, and then what it does, implement a signal for you, telling you the pressure in this market and when this market is going up or down, or is this market sideways. As an example, the Nasdaq right now, we are climbing to the 7013.25. If you are on that trade, you need to be cautiously approach this number here, 713.25, because the probability on that number is going to be rejected. And then if you are in that trade, you can consider yourself taking a profit and get out of that trade. Or or you are fixing to go into the trade, maybe you need to hold on if you are one tick or two ticks above or below this line. So it is a very important for those guys are watching the auto traded system here. And the reason I like this automated system because it's not just turning on the auto trade, there is more technical point of view in it. So for those guys are between traders and trading, a manual and automated trading, they find it very enjoyable because it is telling you what's going on in the market and telling you why this market has been rejected from those numbers or those lines, or the fib or the projection or support resistance. Those are one partial of the market is your fibs, and another partial of your trading system, whatever trading system, is your momentum, because your momentum can guide you on this market. So it is a very, very accurate system, and that's why we don't mind to share. And actually, we are very proud to share our signals with the rest of the world with it. If we notice right now, we had a signal on the ES a few minutes ago. We hit the target. On this ES, we had an entry at 27.82. We had a target, and it is right in front of you, live. And 278875 hit 25 ticks, target hit. Thank you very much. On the DAX, we have nailed 87, 88 ticks. And then on the, not long time ago, on the Russell, we hit, and the 6E, we hit the target. Now, if you are an ES trader and you are thinking to go long, you gotta be careful now because the odds are not with you anymore. If you wanted to take that trade, you should have taken it from the bottom. And right now here on the ES, after we hit the target, you'll find out, and those two yellow lines, those are your dead zone. So in other words, you are on a very critical area here, and there is no longer valid to take long on the ES anymore. And if you are using or if you have a reversal system in your platform, or if you have a reversal system on your indicators, I don't know who's out there, you will notice that it is time to reverse the ES because the ES had this climb, hit the target, and after the target, usually there is not much to be done anymore. So if you are trading the ES, it could be the ES go up another 10 ticks, I'm not sure. But I will not take long anymore after this ES hit the target. I will not take those trades anymore. Again, let's go back to the NASDAQ where we were considering about this area here. And if you notice right now on the ES, that this part here closed a little bit above this number, coming back to the support, and now is trying to climb to that number. It's very simple, 7013.25. And it is very important for that bar to close above. And you can see the struggling. I mean, sometimes you cannot get it to the tick because of the buyers and the sellers pushing the market to a few ticks up and down. But without a doubt, this market is struggling on that level. So if you are taking a NASDAQ trade right now, and you can see how this market is struggling on that number, and then the next turnaround is at 713, 7013.2, and this is a very important number, uh, and it is very, very key right now, whether you are a manual trader or not, to keep your eye on the 705 level, because it could be also, I mean, if you are auto trading, maybe you need to hold your auto trade for a while or direct that auto trade to long only or short only. I have no clue what everybody have out there. So for the Nasdaq, you gotta keep your eye on this level, and you can see it fell. And now this is your support line. And if we notice, after recommended not to take any more long on the ES, nothing happened on the ES after the market hit. Nothing happened. And I told you from here, at those yellow zone, there is no more recommendation for taking long on the ES. So for if there's any out there guy was trying to go long on the ES and he didn't, we saved him some money. That's nice. That makes us happy. So if you notice where is the ES came into the exact support line after it hit the target, profit taken, and it came down to the tick right in front of you. And let's look at the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq still getting stuck between those two lines. You notice that? Trying to find, trying to find direction. Once you have a guy can guide you or lighten up a little bit light on the trading, you will find out it's not. It is hard to trade, but it's not as hard as you think it is. Uh, right now on this price action automated system, we have 340 ticks based on the last signals. It's not from all day long. So we had an entry at 782, target 788. We have an entry on 738 on the YM, target 558.03. On the Nasdaq, we have 95.25 as an entry, target 719.50, and on and on the CL 70 shorts on the CL. Oh, I didn't see that. And then the target 63.49. So let's look at the CL to see what's going on in the CL. Look nasty. Look a very nasty area on the CL. You know what, guys, for whoever is trading the CL, I strongly recommend you to hold on a little bit on the CL because does not look good on the CL. There is a lot of volatility in there, and the lines are very close to each other. It's not a tradable. So I strongly recommend to avoid the CL for now, and because it's a bad news. There is too many turbulence on the way. So, folks, this is I hope this is will guide you on your trade. And of course, you will see the new signals coming out on the market analyzer. If there's anybody looking for an instruments does not exist here, please contact us and ask us if we will be more than glad for whatever market you are trading. We will be more than glad to add it for you if this one will help. If we have the data, we'll add it for you. There is no big deal. Folks, I'm going to stay quiet for the rest of the session, and then you can copy the signals. You're very welcome. Thank you. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention the safe buy entry. The safe buy entry, this is where the market goes up and down all the time. And the safe buy entry, this is basically, it's an older trick. I've been using it for many years. And it is when the market pulled back, you have a support line here, a safe buy entry, if you notice. So when the ES drop to the safe buy entry, there is a probability that market is going to rebound from that number, as you see from the YM and NASDAQ. I'm sorry, the YM and ES. And then the NASDAQ got projected from the support line at 90.50. Look to the line. But the safe buy entry, they are very nice, cheap trades. The reason is there is a probability that this market is going to rebound from that. It's going to be 100%, but maybe 8 out of 10. The market rebound from those safe buy entry on the pullback. And this is the biggest example is down to the tick. If we look on the NASDAQ and on the ES and the YM, it came down to the tick on those lines. So when you trying to buy, order pending. When you're trying to buy in that area, then you can decide to have a very cheap stop loss. It could be below the major. It could be below the major number, the major support line. This is, order filled. If we notice right now, this is a very cheap trade because the probability of that market is going to hold in that position is going to be, if we notice here, this is the last stop for that market. And if we notice a little bit here, this is a major support line. You see how the market, let me put it. So this one here, I'm not saying every time will work, but most of the time on the safe buy entry, we can, okay, now the whole momentum will change. But most of the time, this market will hold on those numbers. But now we are going a new signal, the whole direction in the market, ES, NASDAQ, Dow Jones, they are going for short, and we will have a new short entry very soon. Now is about to give us the signal for a short entry. It is very important to catch the signal. Right now, we have two new signal. We have a new sell on a new sell entry at 80.75. The target 722, and I'm sorry, the YM and the ES. We have a sell entry at 80.75, and the target is 72.25. Fair enough. We're about to have a short signal on the Nasdaq as well. You gotta watch out for the 76 level because there is a support line at the 76 level, and then the destination. If you want to close that position on the ES, I mean, I will not go for the target. I will go couple takes above the target. 73.50 should be fair enough to go to. Now we are going in that direction. And if you notice, the same thing happened on the Nasdaq. It came in exactly. Order pending. Came in exactly to the safe buy entry, and the Nasdaq is only $5, so you can afford to go below that line. You can go at 81 order level, pending. 81 level as a stop loss. So this is not an expensive trade. And if this market kick back from the safe buy entry, there is a very good chances that the market is going to hit the target one more time. And this is a beautiful trade. Order cancel. Order cancel. There's only one trade and then calling it off. So It is it's right in front of you right now. We have a short trade, and you have to keep your eye on the 776, and then you need to cash in at 73.50. We do not have a new signal on the Nasdaq. If you see how the Nasdaq came into the buy safe entry, and now is going to retest the 95 level. So the Nasdaq is between those two areas. And let's look on the YM. We have a sell entry at 704. We have a support line here at 83 level, and the target is 625 on the YM. Let's see what happened with the other platform. Okay, guys, I will leave you alone, and you can copy any trade below. Thank you. We're about to have a short signal on the Nasdaq. If we notice, as we predicted from the sell entry at 80.75, the market hold on exactly to this line, is 76. Once we break it, the final destination for the ES. Now we have a sell order on the Nasdaq, and you can see how the ES respected those numbers, the 776, and there is a sell-in order, so I'm not worried about this line anymore. And our destination, it will be 73.50, folks. Order pending. 73.50. This is your destination for the ES. So if anybody on that trade, you should be closing your position on 73.50 and call it off for the ES. And after that number, folks, there is no more trade on the ES. There is no more trade on the ES on the short side. And if you are on that trade, you need to close at 73.50, folks. Okay, still going down. You see? There is the ES is still on your direction, and we are going short with that. The CL hit the target, but I don't like the CL today. The way it's running, I don't like it. If you notice on the CL, hit the target, and there is no more short trade on the CL, folks. This is a really nasty chart on the CL. I will not invest any dollar right now on the CL. Be careful. This is a really nasty. And there is no more short on the CL actually, so be careful with the CL. And this is a really bumpy ride on the CL right now at the moment. So I will skip that instruments at the moment. You can see exactly how those lines work in beautifully with the market. And if you are watching, you can see how accurate those lines. And now you understand that when the market is pulling back and forth, is going from support to resistance, resistance support, you can see how accurate your fibs are. And then if you wanted to close your position on your YM, if you have the YM, your position is 633, folks. Your position is 633 because I like to take one tick above the target. So 633 is your magic number. Okay. And now your closed position on the ES. And now we are about to close position 633. And you can see how the YM is fighting to the tick. Okay, we got filled. So now it is over for a short trade. It is finished taking a short, folks, and there is no more trade on the ES right now at the moment. Taking short anymore is no longer acceptable because we have the target and we nail it right to the target, and you can see why I like to take the trade one or two ticks above the target because we have a support line at 72, 75. And actually, I don't want to complicate things, but also there is a good potential after you hit the target. If you are wanted to continue with the trade, you can actually hit a reversal because reversing this market here, we did not adjust. This is for an advanced trader. When you are taking the trade, from the short position when we had the sell right here on that video on that we had a signal uh, 10 minutes ago at 80.75. We did take that trade on 8.75, and then the target was 72.75. That's very fine, but for an advanced trader, you can take it advantage of it, that you can close position and open position. And the prediction on that trade, it is that the market is going back to retest those numbers again. So where is this ES climbing? There is a very nasty area right there on the ES, and that is going to cause you a lot of trouble. But most of the time, if you wanted to reverse this market from the target, yes, you can do reverse the market from the target, and the probability is going back to your signal entry. So couple ticks before your signal entry, that will do the job if you wanted to reverse the market after the target hit. And most likely this market will make it. Now, I cannot say anything 24/7, no, but the probability of that market is going to hit this 80.75 is probably 8 out of 10 or 7 out of 10. So because you are very comfortable with that trade. The reason is you are comfortable with that trade because first of all, we have a double support line and we have a target. That's mean we have something to lean on here. We have a very, very strong hold to, and we are hiding behind those walls with our stop loss. This is one of the biggest mistakes traders can do when they are trying to put their stop loss on a trade that is out in the air and protected by a fib line or a support line. And after we hit the target, we hit the target. We can also reverse from the target price and going back with that trade, and that's exactly what we have done. I called it off for anybody out there to close the trade at exactly from where I put the buy, and everybody hit the target. on the 70. I said to close position at 73.50, and then we did close the position at 73.50, and from that number, the 73.50, you did not lose any more ticks, and actually we can see how this market is going, reversing exactly from the target rate. Now if we notice here, we have a new resistance line at 77.25, and I can take that trade all the way here and wait on it. But I know for sure there is a little pullback below that fib line we have. Or if you wanted to be aggressive, you can be aggressive and put it all the way out there. But for sure, we have now a new resistance line, and that number, I don't mind to cash in on that trade on this resistance line if we wanted to do that. And if we notice right now on the ES, I'm so glad this is a live market, and then you can see how clearly is the system where we have hit the same support line one time, two times, three times, four times to the tick, not plus and not minus. It's down to the tick, and exactly from where I said to everyone to close the ES trade. And now the market is going back and forth, back and forth. But there is a thick wall, and you can see how many times the bar came in: one, two, three, four, five, and this is the sixth time. This is trying to penetrate this thick wall. So this is very important when you are trying to trade. To hide your stop loss is irrelevant how many ticks, as much as important to have your trade covered or behind a wall. It is very important for any kind of manual trading or an automated trading to take it. Now, after this market has tried so many times, one time, three times, four times, and look, still struggling after we hit the target, and the system tells you where is the target, and the market is still struggling to push this market down. Despite the sellers and everything, the market is struggling in this area. And most likely right now, once the Nasdaq hit the target, we're gonna see again the same story here. You can say, if you want to close your Nasdaq signal, you need to close it a couple ticks above the target, because there is a fib line, and most likely if you want to close it, you close it at 59.25. You have an entry signal at 82 level. And okay, watch this one here. Watch this one. And we are doing the same story what we have done on the ES. A lot of sales. Wow, a lot of sales. This is exactly where you need to close the target. For the ones that are coming now, we can tell you that this is exactly where also after you hit the target, you can reverse the market. I'm not saying every day it's gonna work, but most of the time, once you hit the target, you can reverse the market. And today, the market really going down. If it's gonna close below this, no, it's gonna struggle. It's not gonna go anywhere further. Anyway, this is the reversal. If you wanted to reversal again, if you want a reversal, once the market hit the target, there is a potential you can reverse the market. And we hit the market on the ES. I tried to reverse the market, didn't work for me this time. But most of the time, though, if you hit the target from the sell entry all the way to the target, the probability of that market is going to rebound from the target. However, forget the reversal. We had right in front of you right now, we have 51 ticks on the ES, YM, 88 ticks, NASDAQ, 124 ticks. CL, I strongly recommend not to trade the CL right now. It's a little bit nasty chart, and I will show it to you. It is a very unpredicted chart. Look at this. We hit the target, and this is a really nasty area here. So I'm not. This is too risky to trade right now. The CL, I will skip it right now. And the YM hit the target. The ES hit the target. The Nasdaq hit the target, but I'm trying to reverse the market from the target when it's the target hit. The DAX earlier today, we had the new signals, and now we are up to 48 ticks. The 30-year Treasury bond. I mean, this is really something else because the 30-year Treasury bond should be working the opposite of an ES. And if you notice now, the 30-year Treasury bond is with the same direction with the ES. This is really confusion because when the ES is down, the 30-year Treasury bond should be up. But I mean, they should work the opposite direction. And you can see the play in the market when the 30-year Treasury bond is the trend is down and the ES is going in the same direction. That can make me sick, and Russell on the short position, and of course the forex futures 6E is to um, if we notice here, we showed you how we can reverse the market. And if we notice, we had an entry, but I was stopped out with this because I had a very tight stop loss. But actually, after the target, the ES has not done anything after that target. So once those targets hit, there is a potential for reversal if you like to reverse the market. I personally like to reverse the market because the money is actually in the reversal, not trading with the trend. And I like reversal because it is a very dangerous game to reverse the market, but there is a good high risk reward on it. So I like to catch the trend from the beginning, catching it from the middle. There is a lot of good advantage if you can catch the trend from the beginning. And if we notice on the Nasdaq, ES, NYM, after we hit the target, there is nothing happened really, except sideways. And now it's start getting tighter on the ES. If you notice, if you from 5 minutes ago, we had a resistance somewhere around 72 level, and now it followed. And for if it's any of our members, those are your $35 zone. If you notice, we have the double resistance, and that is not going to penetrate the ES. It's not going to penetrate double resistance. So this is where, if we notice on the ES right now, we are coming to the 71.75 and 72.75. This is a very double resistance. And then we have a major support on the AES. This is where most of the traders start getting stuck between those two lines, and they're trying to find a direction for that market, but actually there is no direction in this market. You cannot